Well, it's Saturday after a week of very strong southerlies. The blossom's pretty much gone from the Budakawa, but at least the water is calmer now. The wind's dropped down. We can see the mooring buoy and the sandbar. Here's Itzy, just thinking about her next skink hunting expedition. And here's all the stamens blown onto the drive. Dad's garden trailer failed to warrant badly, so we'll have a look at it, but the plan is to cut it up, pop it on the truck, take it home, pop it on one of our other trailers, and at some stage take it to the scrappy. Sasha's enjoying the evening. Right, well, heading down to the workshop. Anyone want a life raft? Let's have a look and see what form of boating we can get done. The garage is still fairly full, but looking a bit more organised than it was. Right, well, here's the Fizz Boat. Current proper name for it is TINNY, because I've had to get a VHF call sign for it. I can't remember when we last used her, but probably over 10 years ago. So she's a riveted 14-foot Fryan, so old and cheap. The tyre looks in perfect order, apart from the fact it's flat on the bottom. Wheel nuts are rusted, so that's something we have to do. Puppy's come to help. And she's got a 40 horse 4-stroke Yamaha. So I think the first order of business is to move some stuff so we can pull her forwards. Possibly. Well, it looks like this tyre is still up. Well, maybe first order of business is see whether the wheel off Granddad's rusted out trailer fits. Oh, this, by the way, is the vacuum pump I've used for some vacuum bag lamination. So we'll turn on the compressor. Well, it's two undone, one 3/4 undone before it rounded off, and this one here we're not winning at all, so let's see if we can find... Oh well, some 6-sided socket rather than the 12, and we're off. Well, it's still only flat at the bottom. Okay, wheel still turns, hub's alright. I'll put some more grease in it. As usual, the collection of tools required keeps increasing. So I wire brushed the hub and filled up the bearing with grease. There's a big spring in there that you fill up and then maintains pressure to stop water getting in. As you can see, I've got a galvanised mono-leaf here. So the big problem with boat trailer multi-leaf springs is rusting in the spring pack. Has not happened, obviously. Mind you, the only useful thing left on Granddad's trailer is the axle. So We'll see if the wheel fits. It's a disappointing no. So the centre hole's different size and the pitch diameter is larger. Well, wonders will never cease. This tyre holds air. It's obviously got an inner tube in it. So we'll pop it on, pull it forwards, and I'm sure it will go down, but we can always get that sorted. Well, not surprisingly, it's not staying up. So maybe we won't pull it forwards. I think you'll agree we need a new battery. Our motor's looking in good cosmetic order. 40 horsepower Yamaha, 4-stroke, done very few hours. I'll hook the jumper pack up to it. It lives. Oh, it has oil, I don't know, just over 2/3, maybe 3/4. Oh, well, let's see if it starts. Well, it turns over, won't start because it hasn't got any petrol in it. Promising. Steering's currently jammed, so I've undone it at the moment because the telltale from the outboard was tend to fill my garage up. A lot of trouble getting fuel through because of course it had to fill up that filter, which I just replaced, haven't changed it. It did the usual bad thing and disconnected and sucked. Well, it's not filling up the garage now. Okay, Stuart. Suggestion for a sticking push-pull steering was disconnect it, so I've undone this nut that was on here, hanging through this end. It's certainly pretty crusty in there. We'll see if we can free it up. Just trying to get the push-me-pull-you cable out, which is this fat one here. Not sure what happens up behind the dash. We're not winning. Tried hammering it, heat, twisting it. It does move, but about 2 millimeters, and then it gets stuck. So I'm sure there's some corrosion in this ferrule somewhere. Bugger. Oh, we'll douse it in penetrant, which is why it's smoking, and see what happens. Now of course I've got the 15 horsepower that's been apart for years, and all it needs is the bottom unit put on and the gear linkage sorted. It got pulled apart because the impeller was missing some blades, so we had to chase the blades through the waterways. Nothing wrong with it otherwise, just haven't got around to fully reassembling it. Oh, here's a boat coming down the Hatea River. Oh, it's Tuesday. I've been in Kerikeri this morning and running around town this afternoon, so we have a complete new steering system, a new water fuel separator, impeller for the 40 as well as the 8, and an oil filter for the 40, and the new engine battery and terminals. Oh, we've got problems with the trailer wheel, so that's 1.55 millimeters between the inside of the hubs, and she's 1.75, so direct swap's not going to work. Just seeing if the hub off Grandad's trailer, which is the greyer one, will fit on this stub axle, because we have wheels for that. So we need to get the bearing, the inner bearing, off the old garden trailer. Right, well, we've got the 3-jaw puller. Well, does that fit the other stub axle? Let's find out. It'll be no, because it's got to go up here. So we can't just swap the hubs over, we can't swap the axles over. We really need a wheel. And the wheel to fit this hub, which I think is a Trojan. Yes, it's a Trojan. My measurements have it as a 4.5 inch pitch diameter. Right, pitch diameter is 4.5 inches, and the centre spigot, so it's in decimal inches, that's what, 2.2. I might as well clean this up and take it as a sample. Stuart's going to have another go at getting the tube fixed in that other wheel. Oh, I pumped this one up and it's staying up. Well, I finally got around to putting the shade sails up. And of course, if it starts to get windy, it needs to come down, but just drop the halyard that holds the three up in the middle, and that should make them safe. Oh, here's the mooring barge going past. Good man, Stuart. Stuart's gone and got a nice new tyre and presumed tube on the rather grotty rim. Oh, that does look like a large leopard going up the harbour. I know we'll need some new split pins, so there we are, down the bottom there, and a couple of new wheel nuts wouldn't go astray. Yep, that'll do. Our first order of business is to put the hub back on. Okay, done up, new split pin, and now we just need to put the bearing buddy back in, which has a grease nipple in it. And we've got mate Matthew here, so he's up for Christmas. We'll just load the grease in on a nice new tyre and put some studs on and tighten them up. Sorry, put some wheel nuts on and tighten them up. While having a look at what Santa bought, or rather I bought, there's the new push me pull you steering system. And here's the helm unit and a new steering wheel, because I needed to make sure everything was actually going to fit. New battery connected, and Matthew's busy cleaning the rubbish out, so we'll be pulling the battery out when we do a proper cleanup. Yep, we have power. Right, well, I've put a new bowline in the rather rusty steel winch cable, and the winch works. Okay, freed up the coupling. Matthew's doing a great job in the cleanup, but I think it's now lunchtime. So here's my brother Stuart, so he's going to take this crystal cabinet back to the UK. It was made by our grandfather, Dad's dad, who was a French polisher and then ran a furniture manufacturing business, so it's all French polish, so we need to make a crate. So we have some good thick ply. They're still discussing the design. I'm leaving it entirely up to them, and we'll see how they get on. Entertain myself over here, and then find things as they need them. I'll need to get the old steering wheel bezel and mechanism out, and of course being highly marine rated, you certainly can't get the nuts undone or the screws undone. Well, no wonder I couldn't undo the screws, because they're actually just pretend ones. So one screw here, it obviously just clipped on. I'm going on a theory. I take off this nylock, steering wheel should pull off, you can get the bezel off, there'll be some nut arrangement that holds it in place, and then push it forwards through the dash, and all should be revealed. And I already know I can't undo those ones, so I'll just have to lever it off. Well, I did manage to get the screws out. Wonders will never ceased. Now, what happens next? Right, well, it's raining, as you can probably hear. The professor and the engineer seem to have come up with a plan, and I'm just the supplier of tools. Well, I was wrong. There are nuts out the back, and I can't really get hold of them easy, so let's see if we undo that bit down there. What happens in the middle? I found two bolts. Look at this. We have that. Well, here's the steering end of the new cable, and here's the helm, the gearbox. The mounting looks very similar. I'm going on the theory that it will fit. We'll find out, so I don't have to go and change that. Right, I'm winding the spiral in, and now we're turning to starboard. Holding this over my shoulder, trying to look at it with one eye out the corner of my progressives. Protective cover over the exposed a bit of spiral rack. I have to point out that over here there's debates as to sizes, and the good news is
the fish was this big.
That's right.
It was a spotty.
Yeah, we've still got 8 more sheets if you completely cock it up. Okay, next problem. The holes here are too small for the bolts that we need. In fact, they're probably cap screws. So we've got to get that out and replace it with the new one. And it's on the nuts and behind, which is hard to get to because there's a lip in here. There's my finger there. I suppose it's not just yachts where things take much longer than you think. Okay, so we have a new, I don't know, mount in. Now we need to put the steering box in, and now we've got big enough holes we can get the appropriate bolts through, bolted into place, but getting it lined up is a mission. Well, I've drilled oversized holes. I've got 2 in, we'll see how we go. But the bezel has a number of random holes here and there. Obviously multi-fit, but not multi-fit in all directions. Well, finally, just up the nut, put the centre of it on, and we will be fine. Okay, just need the centre cover. Okay, we can go brum brum, brum brum brum. And turning to port, or to the left, turning to the right. I'm going to sort out all this, but they can wait till tomorrow. Okay, greasing the, I don't know what you call it, the bit that goes through the motor mount. Now we up that up. This is where it seized last time, so we'll make sure it doesn't this time. Well, we seem to have a box, it looks pretty sturdy. So 2 engineers. So 1 engineer, one has an engineering degree, although he works at the Department of Mathematics at Cambridge now.